Hey there, you amazing patrons, if you're hearing this in December, and another hey goes to the folks that are hearing this sometime in 2018. It's X here, and I'm here with Kyle and Felicia, and our special guest, Chrissy, from the Chrissiosity channel on YouTube. You should go check that out, and this is us reminding you again 6 months later that you really need to be subscribed to her channel. Anyway, this is the Utah Outcasts Secret Patron Show. This is our special content we provide to folks who are so generous to share with us at least $1 a month, and it's a pittance, really, for the work that we do. Let's hope that you tip your waitstaff more than that, especially this time of year. I mean, come on. I give 20% usually when I don't have to.
At least
20%. So if you stumbled upon this in your regular show feed on a Friday or something, thanks for stopping by, but you missed the real show. So go download the previous 2 episodes or wait till Monday. Anyway, you'll get the full effect that way. Now that the bullcrap nonsense of housekeeping is out of the way, let's get into what we're going to talk about this episode. And there was an egregious video by Sargon of Akkad, who we don't normally talk about too much on this show because he is a YouTube, alt-right shitlord. He's just a troll. And he's talking with the other guy that's pretty much a hardcore alt-right guy by the name of Millennial Woes. And these people were so egregious in their conversation that they made it to Right Wing Watch.
Damn.
Usually they don't feature people like this on Right Wing Watch. Usually it's like politicians. Usually it's people that have mega churches and stuff. The folks that are obviously trying to bring their flavor of Christianity into the world. But no, like Richard, I haven't even seen a Richard Spencer thing on Right Wing Watch that often. But Sargon of Akkad makes it on here, and he'll still go to say that he's a classic liberal. That camouflage they throw up, and
I'll make this point later. It's okay. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. So we got him talking about the Charlottesville attack that happened. The terrorist attack that happened where the guy plowed into a crowd with his car.
Oh, I do remember you sending this.
Yeah, and we're only going to play probably about at least the first minute of it. So we'll interrupt it here in a second once we finally have something to interrupt about. But I'm going to let you guys hear what they're talking about.
I mean, I remember when Charlottesville happened. Was just, they were apoplectic about what was going on. There were these violent right-wing maniacs just looking for violence, and then when the car thing happened, it was just like a gift from God for them. Because
no, that was not a.
No,
Heather was not thinking that was some sort of gift from God. The left was not thinking that was a gift from God. That was a moment where I was on vacation and that happened, and I'm like, oh God, what has happened to this country?
Yeah, it was. I checked on my Jewish coworker and my Asian coworker and asked them if they were okay. I was like, are you guys okay right now? Because this is really scary. And the Jewish coworker was so moved that she told her husband about it and thanked me again for checking on her the next day. It was horrible.
But they actually did this act of hurting people, and on top of the violence that they demonstrated during their meetings, the whole lighting up the torches, the blood and soil, the "you will not replace us." This is the same thing where Christopher Cantwell was taking his guns off of his body and claiming how cool he was and how he's ready for a race war and shit. And it's just, God.
And there were other acts of violence as well. There was a man discharging
he discharged a gun into a crowd.
Yeah, after he shouted out the hey N-word at the guy, and he popped 3 rounds at him, and the cops were in the background and they did not a fucking thing.
They're not required to do anything in that situation, by the way. The cops are not. The protect and serve part of protect and serve, the protect part, the protect doesn't. It's not a thing.
No, not really. Yeah.
No, they're not required to stop a stabbing. They're not required to stop a shooting if they can. None of it. But they put their lives on the line for us every day.
Every day, and they
really?
Sure, they do.
Do they?
I find it fascinating that the newest cop symbol is an American flag bled of its blood, of the stripes that are on it and stuff. It's and I hate the co-opting of shit like that, especially a lot of these guys using the Punisher symbol for stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That annoys the shit out of me.
But wasn't there another man? He was a lynch mob almost killed him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the guy that was beat up in the underground. He was like in a parking garage, and they like 8 or 9 people.
Mm-hmm.
They have found some of the people that were responsible for that, but not all of them. It's Sean King that I follow on Twitter.
Yep.
The guy was the victim was initially charged. The charges were dropped, but when he reported it, he was charged with something. I can't remember what.
Inciting a riot or something like that, or
something ridiculous.
We're going to charge you for you getting your ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing that? Oh, wait, it's because I'm black. That's exactly what it is. Anyway, let's let these guys talk some more.
That's the evidence.
Just to jump in on the car thing, as I understand it, I thought Heather Hayes or Hare or whatever her name was, I thought she died of a heart attack.
Now, initially, the mom came on the TV and said that she did die of a heart attack on the side of the road. However, the coroner's report came out and said, no, she died from massive blunt force trauma from being hit by a car.
Well, and the cardiac arrest could have been caused by being hit by a car.
Maybe, just maybe.
I'm just saying, she obviously didn't die of cardiac arrest. We know that now.
No.
But if that was their initial guess, it would have been from trauma. They know cardiac arrest can happen from trauma, right?
Not according to these guys. They hear the one string of evidence that they want to believe, and fuck everything else that comes out from it. Because I watched this happen on Twitter, because me and Dusty Smith were going on about this, and strangely enough, Dusty Smith has turned back into a somewhat reasonable person on Twitter. You know, I thought he was getting close to towing down the line of like Thunderfoot and those guys, but he seems to be kind of all right. Kevin Logan made a good video about him that you should go check out. Anyway. What was I saying? These guys were talking about this, and they're like, yeah, here's a video of the mom saying that she had a heart attack. And then he's like, yeah, but here is the autopsy. You know? And they're like, no, the mom said it. Why would the mom say it? Motherfucker.
She misunderstood.
She might have misunderstood.
She didn't have the entire information.
Or maybe it is true. Maybe she did have a heart attack after she got hit by a car.
I mean, sometimes if your daughter was just viciously murdered, you might be, I don't know, a little confused.
Yeah.
It's not really the best time to ask for exact, precise details and language and stuff. You know, it's just a thought. Maybe you'd want to go with the coroner.
Don't expect me to write like a senior thesis after one of my kids dies or something like that.
All right, Chrissy, you're getting really emotional here. I want to use facts, not feelings. All right? Just stick to the facts, like the ones the coroner presented.
No, let's stick to the facts that I like. I like these facts. You know, that's what they're going to try to do there. Anyway, let's let them talk some more.
Yes, it looks like what happened is that he was shocked by seeing the car crash happening and had a heart attack.
It wasn't a car crash. It was vehicular murder. It was murder with a vehicle.
Well, they're trying to say that she got so scared by it happening that it caused her to have a heart attack.
I would be kind of scared too if a car hit me.
Yeah. And the car did slam into another car in front of it, and he had to back up to get out of there. But I mean, I remember watching that video multiple times, and I'm like,
there was a guy who had a broken leg. He was standing right next to her. Mm-hmm. I mean, like a just destroyed leg.
Yeah.
Cast all the way thigh high. Like that doesn't just happen.
No, that's like pins and reconstructive surgery. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's horrible. It's a horrifying thing.
And yet they're going to have to pay those costs, though. They're not going to be able to get it from the city because they're fucked up.
It's really sort of. I know.
I don't mean to laugh. I'm going to tell you, this is the second time he has laughed at a murdered woman that I know of. I'm sorry.
I don't understand what he's laughing at. Is he laughing at the idea that she got so scared that she had a heart attack? If that's what happened, one, that doesn't happen in someone her age without a heart condition, which she didn't have. I think they're going to go on here to say that she did.
Well, what they're going to do, they're going to go on to say about how overweight she was, and that she was in bad health to begin with because she was overweight. When I haven't seen Millennial Woes, but Sargon's not exactly the pinnacle of male fitness either. He's not the golden one or whatever the fuck the guy's name is.
She wasn't that big.
No, she wasn't. She was about America normal right now. Like,
and young.
yeah.
So her heart was probably. I'm on overweight. I'm at overweight, and guess what? My heart is really healthy. My blood pressure, my oxygen absorption, my cholesterol, all of it is like ideal. And I'm still a little overweight.
I've been
healthy.
obese on BMI since I was like 10. You know, because there's just no way that I'm going ever to weigh what they want me to weigh. I just don't hold on to it that way. That's
if I get to a size that would be pretty good for me, especially with how much muscle I have nowadays, I would still be overweight, and I wouldn't be. But BMI is bullshit. So.
You know, maybe if you stop drinking during podcasts, that might save you some calories. Exactly. I gotta have some outlet, you know. As stressed out, Kyle's big ass cup that he's got there.
I'm on water. I'm on water.
Yeah.
Russian
water.
Russian water. 30% not water. Yeah, there we go.
There's water in there.
All right, let's see what else they have to say.
Well, it's horrible, but it does seem a very dramatic reaction to
It's more than the alt-right being blamed for someone having a heart attack. Someone in tremendously bad physical condition has heart attack, and suddenly the alt-right has murdered someone.
She wasn't just walking down the street and collapsed from a fucking heart attack, though.
She got hit by a car.
These people are everywhere.
Tremendously bad health. And also, they did just pull the whole, oh my God, women are so over dramatic, you guys. She was so overly emotional that she had a heart attack. That's not how this works.
Yes, let's blame the person that got hit by a car at a peaceful protest. It's her fault. It's her fault that she's dead. Because, you know, she was just bound to, you know, her heart was struggling so bad that she was just going to die at any second.
Stupid woman. Oh my God, she deserved to die. Women are the worst.
Careful now. If you start saying that often enough, people might actually start subscribing more to the channel. They're like, oh,
giving us money.
Oh, yeah, start giving us more patron
know.
money. God, these sick assholes. It's like they just hate women. They just hate women so bad, and I don't know where it comes from. Is it? Oh wait, toxic masculinity. That'd be a good good place.
That's one of it.
She wasn't that big. She was.
No, she really wasn't.
No.
She was very young.
I think she's older than you were, but anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but that's like relative. She was.
Well, yeah, I mean that's still relatively young.
I'm still young.
Younger and more slender than Carl, so
she was definitely prettier.
Let's just put it this way, Carl.
I know that's not a value statement on her. It's just that he's not attractive. And maybe I feel that way because I find him so just absolutely repugnant. So I tend to be attracted to people, not necessarily their looks.
In my best sarcasm font that I can as I'm speaking here, I wouldn't even hit you with a car. Let's just put it that way.
Oh my God.
Fucking Carl Benjamin.
Oh my God, he's such disgust.
This is something I'm surprised the alt-right doesn't make a big deal out of, to be honest. You know, I would have thought that.
We try to.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. We try to.
Stupid,
or they in America do. I mean, they're trying to. But of course, then you get accused of politicizing a tragedy.
No, lying about a tragedy.
Yeah, every tragedy is politicized because that's kind of what you have to do to affect change in this country. You have to make
politics matter.
Yeah.
Politics isn't just a game.
No.
Like, that's something that's so stupid. They're like, don't politicize it. Politics isn't a game.
What's wrong with politicizing something?
Yeah.
I mean, in the first place, what exactly is wrong with that?
The conservatives want us to think that we shouldn't be doing that. Oh, it's too soon to be talking about this. This just happened. We could talk about this.
They do it all the time.
But her death was political. He killed her over political differences.
Yep. And these guys just don't seem to understand that.
Well,
and of course, every side accuses the. Yeah, I mean, everyone does this. You know, it's a sort of natural thing to do.
Yeah, everybody does.
And you accuse the other. Oh, you're politicizing a tragedy. But in this case, they really didn't do anything wrong.
That.
He drove his car into people. What the fuck are you even talking?
Right.
Even if she hadn't died from being hit by a car, which she most definitely was, even if she had died from a heart attack from seeing people being run over in front of her, he still did a wrong thing.
And it's still felony murder.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I don't know.
Manslaughter.
No, he's been
Where-
charged.
No,
He's been charged with murder.
with first degree.
I know he has
Yeah.
been.
Yeah.
I know in the real world where facts actually matter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But even if it had been, you know, let's say she witnessed it from a distance, which did not happen, and had a heart attack, or he had hit her and she had a heart attack afterwards, that's still felony murder
I believe
because
that'd be manslaughter at that point.
I
Negligent.
think it
Have to
depends
ask our friend.
it depends on the state, and I think in Virginia it's felony murder,
Well, so
but I could be wrong. So
Friend of the
I could
show-
be.
So friend of the show, Andrew Torres, is a lawyer. He doesn't do criminal, but he has talked
Mhm.
about the difference between why they'll like, even sometimes when it's like obviously murder, they'll still pursue a manslaughter charge.
Mhm.
And that's because murder has to prove intent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if she had died just from witnessing it, it'd be really hard to prove that he intended to kill her.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a lawyer, and Andrew's not here to speak for himself. but
And don't take legal
based on-
advice from a
and
podcast.
don't take legal advice from a podcast. But I do believe that just in my opinion, it would be really hard to prove murder based on some of the learned information I have. I don't know. Somebody we'll tag Andrew and ask him.
All right.
And we could honestly, if they have like another 2 minutes of this stuff, but it's not going to do us any more good because
No.
no. We're done.
Yeah.
We're done with this video because it's just
Okay.
it's just more
It's-
egregious. Like
Horrible.
bro fisting ham boys, you know, high fiving each other over this shit, and it's just like, yeah, nobody. You shouldn't be happy about this kind of thing. It's like you shouldn't be willing to accept this as okay. And so
No, but they don't care about the
Not
abuse of
okay,
women.
yeah.
They want to be able to abuse and hurt women
Yeah.
at will. They want that kind of world because that's
Mhm.
what makes them feel like they got great big dicks.
Well, can I? There is something else in this podcast that I think is, I don't know in the podcast world how familiar you are with the whole Sargon of Akkad thing and how
intimately.
Yeah.
unfortunate. I feel for you. We tried to keep him contained, but it just was never going to happen. But he constantly wants to be a classical liberal or say that he's on the left or he's liberal. But in this particular little get-together, he basically said that if it came down to between the SJWs and the alt-right, he would go with the alt-right even if that meant suspending democracy as we all know it. Just that's it. He would go with the ethno-state, suspend liberal democracy in order to not have diversity.
Yeah, so
Because
then he's a
diversity
fascist and a
is
racist.
bad.
I mean, we already knew he was a racist, but he's also
Yeah.
definitely a fascist.
Yeah, that. What the fuck?
No, let's be clear though. Let's be completely honest. The reason that he feels diversity is bad is because on some level he is so very insecure that he cannot stand the competition.
Yeah,
I really
don't think that's.
think that it comes down to a place of fear. A fear about themselves. Like, and every time I look into this just a little bit further, these guys end up being just hard mediocre at everything they do.
Oh yeah.
And eliminating women and people of color from the competition and being able to be dominant without being particularly special is what gets them off. It makes them feel powerful because they're insecure. They can't handle the competition. And I really believe that's what really drives a lot of these fuckers. In Germany, that's what they did. They made poor white people in Germany in the Nazi era feel powerful and special over a group that had been doing fairly well. It's just insecurity. It's insecurity.
Yeah.
Because how dare they? You know, how dare they deemed to exist, and be doing a little bit better than people that are less fortunate. And they just like to rally that troop. And it's something that just keeps on happening. They keep rallying the disaffected, white guys that are just, bummed that they can't get a date. And that, I'm very, very generalizing here, very much so that it's probably just at the point of hyperbole. But it's the thing is that I don't know how we're going to fix this kind of culture. I mean, he's got an insular crowd. These people are just rampant.
But I mean, the first thing we need to do is just call it out every chance we get.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
But that's becoming difficult.
Exhausting.
So much of it.
Oh, I know.
I don't know. I mean, even when we had Obama in the White House, it was still ramping up. And now that we have their king, their God Emperor Trump in there, it's just the fight is getting harder.
It is, and I don't know how we fix it either, because they don't want to introspect ever. Introspection is anathema